once again, everyone, and welcome to the Sanctuary. I'm your host, Kruznik X. Alongside me are Arya Stormborn.
Where?
And Kotori Ifrit.
IRL waiting.
So far we're dealing with we're continuing our Manderville weapon grind. Last episode we finally finished all of the Manderville weapons, much to my happiness, because that was just grinding for the tomes to make these things is ridiculous. But anyway, just to show them off before we move on to our next phase, let's show them off in my usual order. First and foremost, for Paladin, we have the amazing Manderville sword and kite shield. For Monk, we have the amazing Manderville knuckles. For Warrior, the amazing Manderville axe. The amazing Manderville spear for Dragoon. The amazing Manderville heart bow for Bard. The amazing Manderville rod, courtesy of Black Mage.
So your Black Mage made your rod. I mean, man-made rods. We are.
I did not hear that.
Man-made rods usually are.
Anyway, moving on. For Summoner, the amazing Manderville Index.
I thought you were going to say it looked like a dick, and then I was going to say Mandex. Dick.
Those are two dragons.
It looks like a butterfly when you put it together.
Does that make it dragon dicks? Follow-up question.
Moving on, the amazing Manderville the amazing Manderville Codex for Scholar. The amazing Manderville cane for White Mage.
For old men.
I'm not liking that one. But I'm not liking that one too much.
Yeah, I don't dig it either. But anyway, for Ninja, the amazing Manderville knives. For Dark Knight, the amazing Manderville Zweihander. The amazing Manderville revolver for Machinist. The amazing Manderville Torquetum for Astrologian. The amazing Manderville Samurai Sword, which is easily becoming my favorite, a la Samurai. The amazing Manderville Rapier for Red Mage. The amazing Manderville Gunblade, courtesy of Gunbreaker. The amazing Manderville Chakrams for Dancer. The amazing Manderville Scythe for Reaper. And last but certainly not least, the amazing Manderville Milpreeves for Sage.
Did you say Milpreeves?
That is what they're called.
Oh fuck,
yeah.
You're actually not joking?
Nope.
Milpreves.
I don't even need to make a joke. It makes a joke out of itself.
Anywho, so with all the weapons collected, we can finally move on to the next phase of our Manderville weapon grind. So, without further ado, let's talk to Geralt and complete the quest, A Spirited Reforging.
Oh, it's you. I suppose that bespectacled fop did mention that he'd made some kind of breakthrough and needed to round up the usual suspects.
I shall inform his lordship of your arrival.
Thank
Good
you.
on ya.
Chris, welcome, welcome. I do hope you are prepared for another spot of modest labor. I have plucked a new weaponsmithing secrets from the depths of my family's extraordinary heirloom. As for why Godbrand abandoned his ciphered journals, it would seem he desired the greater security afforded by the relic's recording apparatus. That he so feared his knowledge falling into wicked hands bespeaks the destructive potential of what we seek to recreate. Speaking of which, this stage of augmentation will require a fundamental alteration to the weaponry's design. Godbrand understood that individual wielders have different needs and preferences, and thus conceived of a method to modify each armament's base qualities. Essential to the process is a new type of oil known as Maxala Manderville. By subtly adjusting the precise ratio of ingredients for this coating, we can influence the paths of ethereal conductivity as we see fit. More bloody oil.
The oil's chief ingredient is, once again, derived from a meteorite, specifically an achondrite with amplifying properties. Oh, but so many out-of-this-world materials. It is unsurprising now that we know the alien origin of Godbrand's weaponsmithing techniques.
Alien origin, you say? No wonder I wasn't familiar with them.
As has become customary, I shall prepare the bulk of the necessary resources, whilst you procure our supply of achondrites.
Oh, aye, and a lovely bloody custom that is. Matter your means, I reckon you could buy a mountain of them space rocks as well.
And I would gladly do so. Except the merchant in question will accept naught less than a specific type of tombstone in trade. As much as it pains me to impose upon Chris further, he is best equipped to handle that onerous task. These improvements call for a drastic reforging. It is your expertise that shall see us succeed or fail as well, Master Geralt.
Fine, fine. Shut me gob and do as I'm told.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting the distinct impression you've lost interest in this project.
You bloody think? Look, I took this job to pay off me drinking debts. Now that I've managed that, I've got no desire to keep working for an underdressed, overprint, pretentious ass.
I see. Admittedly, even from the beginning, your distaste for me was rather poorly concealed. And I fear such festering antagonism will adversely affect our smithing endeavors. Yes, let's resolve our differences over a flagon of fine spirits. Or several as circumstances dictate, all at my expense, of course.
Buy him a beer, he'll be okay.
What's that?
Buy him a beer, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Free liquor, is it? Then you best be bringing your biggest purse.
Chris, you must join us.
If you would be so kind as to secure a table at the Mehane, I shall be along in short order.
Someone's about to get drunk under the table, and I am all for it. All right, off to Merid's Mehane. Might as well put on my eye patch.
Aye.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, a splendid night for spirituous beverages. You sure about this then, are you? Have a mighty thirst, and it'll not be slaked by the cheap stuff. What of you, Chris? Will you be following Master Gerard's fine example?
Bring on the high-class brews.
Very well. I shall order us all the same to start.
Your beverages, Lord Godbert. Enjoy.
To your health, my friends. Right. No point beating around the bush. I've hated your guts for a good long while now. Ha! So even my insides offend you. And why might that be? As for a proper artisan, devotion to your craft ought to be your #1 priority. But you're all founding a consortium or building some fool's playground for fleecing the masses. You're a bloody merchant, that's what you are! You believe my devotion is insufficient then? Yet our works require not only the sweat of our brow, but capital to cover expenses, no? Thus, does not a steady revenue facilitate the creative process? In that respect, my business ventures have allowed me to indulge in goldsmithing projects I could never have otherwise afforded. Is it not true that you craft kettles as a means to repay loans or simply make ends meet? Would not a substantial source of wealth spare you such tedious drudgery and empower you to pursue your heart's desire? Booze! We're gonna need more booze over here! What really showed me was when you sat your ass on the syndicate. How can you craft what's worthwhile with your head buried in that political shite? You may be surprised. My participation in Uldar's governance opened my eyes to a different world, which in turn provided great inspiration for several original pieces. Well, you can keep your bleeding inspiration. I want nothing to do with prissy roll-makers of your ilk.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You and your bloody reasonable arguments. Rich swords ain't got a clue what it's like for poor buggers like me. And what have you got against wearing clothes any road? We are more alike than you realize, Master Geralt. Especially when it comes to the simplicity of our attire.
Dude, how many drinks have they gone through?
So clear now. You're the master craftsman. And I'm a sodden failure. A failure.
What?
Rowena! Oh dear. Bugger it. I'm a sorry excuse for a smitty, and that's all that matters.
He seems to be mistaking you for someone else. Perhaps you could offer him a kind word. Your craftsmanship is flawless, Geralt.
That means a lot coming from you. Thanks.
This guy's fucking wasted.
Oh my
Okay,
God. You know, I don't know. Huge ass mug of liquor in his hand.
Are you kidding? Did you see the table?
I wasn't looking.
Right. I'm done whipping into me cups. I'll fix up them weapons and to hell with the money. I'll do it for my own damn sense of pride.
Look, just look at that shit. That's ridiculous.
Would seem Master Geralt has overcome his aversion to our partnership. Splendid. Although I never would have guessed carrot juice would be so intoxicating.
Wait, what?
I was concerned for our good smith's health, you see, and had Mihail switch his spirits to something less potent several rounds ago. The Mehane's liquors are sublime, but too much can wreak havoc on a man's constitution. There was a time when I, too, devoted every waking moment to my craft. But alas, running a mercantile empire comes with its own responsibilities. Monetary woes notwithstanding, I do envy Geralt his purity of purpose. And on that note, let us return to our appointed acquisitions. We shall require 3 chunks of the aforementioned achondrite as soon as you are able. Dookie dook.
Alright, we can talk to Gibruna. And for once, we actually have the currency to do this with. So let's get our amplifying a chondrite. We'll save the other 500 for something else. Let's head back to the High Crucible. It's a good thing I have weapons that I can... No, not that. That. Right, Geralt.
The heat of the furnace has me all sobered up. Let's have them special rocks then.
Here you go.
I reckon that's enough. But there's one other thing that's been bothering me. Was Rowena there at the Mehane? I don't rightly remember.
That's cause you were shit-faced, my friend. Or at least you thought you were. Who gets drunk off carrot juice? Anyway.
Forget it. Let's get his lordship over here before I lose me will to forge.
Now for the finishing touch. The Maxala Manderville oil. Before we can finalize the mixture, however, you must tell us how you wish your weaponry to serve you in battle. The ratio of the coating's ingredients will greatly influence the armament's various qualities, so think carefully ere you give your answer. Let's learn about the weaponry attributes. You can choose 3 attributes to add to your newly augmented Manderville weaponry. One of these attributes will be set to a lower value than the other 2. Once you have adjusted the values to your liking, select Confirm to finalize your decision. Resetting your weaponry's attributes will require an additional chunk of amplifying a chondrite, so consider your choices carefully. Alright. Yeah, Kotori's showing off some of her sewing projects. Alright, let's see. How do I set the attributes up, though? Oh, okay. I see now. I think I'm gonna do determination, skill speed, and tenacity.
Understood. Your wish is all command.
No, I usually just say as you wish. Ooh. Interesting.
And 'tis done. Heralding the result of undying devotion to craft and excellence. A majestic Manderville sword and a majestic Manderville shield.
Had you not so bravely confessed your grievances that evening, I dare say this degree of collaborative work would have remained unattainable.
Aye, well, my memories are might fuzzy on that score, but I'll take me victories where I can get them.
As always, Chris, should you wish to enhance other Manderville weapons in your possession, you need only say the word. My diligent retainer is at your service. Lord Garbert, though it shames me to admit, the expertise necessary to manufacture the
the Maxala Manderville oil is beyond my limited alchemical knowledge.
Oh, look at me. I could mix magic potions. I'd have grown me hair back long ago.
I am aware it would prove an insurmountable feat for you as well, which is why I've employed a master alchemist.
Huh. On a bloody odd taste in clothes, but at least he's wearing some.
Our newest addition to the House Manderville retinue will assist with further augmentations and oversee the preparation of the oil. He will also be available to readjust your weapon's properties should you but bring him the required quantity of a chondrite. This has been a monumental step forward, my friends. Yet one stage remains ere the Manderville weaponry's evolution can be considered complete.
I knew you was leading up to that. Let me guess. Sit here in breathless, bleeding anticipation while you sort out what comes next?
Precisely. Preparing the process is like to be a lengthy endeavor, so I do suggest you continue breathing. Final step is upon us, Chris. Pray, indulge this ambition of mine one last time.
Manderville weapon readjustments are now available from the House Manderville Alchemist at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Collect the single required chunk of amplifying a chondrite and equip the weapon you wish to readjust before approaching Lord Godbert's ever-patient retainer. Okay, well, we got the Reforged achievement, and we are now in possession of the majestic Manderville sword and shield, which look interesting, to say the least. What do you think, Arya? Yeah, and it. It does almost look like a raven when you have the glow. I don't mind it that much. But we've got another, what? 19 weapon, or no, 18 weapons left to do, so much complementing a chondrite, or amplifying a chondrite to get, and so much time to do it, but I really want to get this shit done. So, with that being said, that's it for this episode. We will return with more as soon as we got the necessary materials. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned for final announcements. If you're watching on YouTube, here are the links provided. See you in a bit.